I know it's pretty early in the morning, but I was in a forum site having a conversation with a few people in there, usually where I like to be at, in different forum sites showing off our black technology. And a fellow made a comment that was extremely interesting. He was saying, well, so what you're saying is because gunmetal technology cannot compete with black technology, we definitely know gray and white screens can't compete with black technology. So clearly what you're saying is the future in home theater entertainment is black. And it is. It actually is black. Because again, when people have projection screen setups, number one, they don't want to be in the dark. That's a huge key feature right there. They definitely don't want to be in the dark 24/7. They do not want to spend tons of money for a projector. They don't want to do that. They don't want to calibrate. A lot of people really don't want to calibrate at the end of the day. They just don't. They don't even want to calibrate their TVs at that. And again, they want something that's going to be simple, easy, and affordable. Well, we consider the fact that, like I said, the conversation I had in the room, the fellow was actually right. We are future. Because at the end of the day, in order for gunmetal technology to catch up to our technology, they would have to go black. Because there is no gunmetal screen on the face of the planet that can touch a black screen. Because again, the whole purpose of gunmetal technology, and what some people have completely missed in their demonstrations, was gunmetal was developed to produce a much darker, richer contrast level. That's the whole purpose of gunmetal technology. And this is a screen, because it's darker, it's going to have an issue with being able to generate white light. That's why it had that weird reflective surface to it to generate a higher white level. That's what gunmetals do. I studied gunmetal. I know gunmetal technology at the end of the day because I study a lot of certified screens and I do a lot of testing against their products. If you don't do testing against these products, you don't know anything about gunmetal technology at all to begin with. I find it kind of interesting on people who basically state that they are labeling their products gunmetal, but have not studied actual gunmetal technology, which I have done. So I do know quite a bit about their technology. And I do know for a fact that they are in the past. Because we can walk into any form site that we want, and whether it be DMP, Black Diamond, whether it be Dragonfly, and we can basically produce heavier contrast levels. We could do things in fully lit environments with screens at massive sizes. And we could do all this on projectors that cost pretty much for these guys next to nothing. Then yes, that would make us the future. Never really thought about that. When I was sitting there having this conversation with a few of these people in the room, I was actually in where I usually like to be at, is the forum sites for OLED TVs. I kind of spend a lot of time in there because, I have a black screen, so, I can kind of generate in there easily. A gray screen can't walk in there because, again, the first thing they'll say is, well, you can't see a contrast level, and they're 100% right on that. You can't see a contrast level, so we can actually sit on those forum sites. So I can bounce from one forum to the next because we have black technology. We pretty much will dominate anything in that area because, again, if it comes down to the gunmetal screens, they like to brag about their contrast capabilities, but our screen's jet black, so we kind of overpower that section. And then when it comes to the gray and white screens, well, all we got to do is turn the lights on, and that's pretty much it. The screens don't pull. So when you really think about it, yeah, the future is black. It is black technology. Because again, like I said, sooner or later, one of these certified screens are going to pick up on this. If they haven't picked up on it already, and they're not in the development stage of designing one, you're going to see a black certified screen pop up. And then later on, they're going to sit there and say, well, hey, yeah, we had it first. We designed it first. And mind you, we got videos that date back to 2016, where we first had a confrontation with screen innovation involving black technology. So we were making it far before anybody else was, which I find that kind of interesting. What we have compared to today on the market that people really consider to be real projection screens. They really think they're actually getting the best from their projector, when actually you guys are sitting in the past. We're going to use that. That's our slogan right there. That's the slogan we're going to be using from now on. No company, no place can claim that unless you have black technology. And pretty soon there'll be a category of our kind of black technology screens. And anyone who has the gray or white screens, or you have gunmetal, you will become the bottom chain of technology. The future is black. Now, we do know at the end, you're going to have individuals out there fighting this. And that's what they're trying to fight. They're trying to fight the future that's coming. they're claiming that black screens don't pull this and they can't do this and can't do that. But the interesting thing about it is under our desk demonstrations and demonstrations we have under our products, they can't be matched. I've been waiting already almost 2 months. Wait a minute, 2 months? How long have I been down here? Oh yeah, about 2 months. Yeah, about 2 months I've been down here. I've been waiting 2 months for anyone, and I mean anyone, to be able to match or better our test demonstrations. And yet, for a company like us, for our demonstrations to be so easy and anyone can do them and so fake, I've yet to see one person, not even a company like Diamond or any of the other certified companies that match our tech. Isn't that interesting? So our demonstrations can't be duplicated and can't be matched because we already know at the end of the day that those particular screens, we already know they can't be matched. Because at the end of the day, the test demonstrations that we pulled off, we know for a fact from studying other people's products that they can't perform in those demonstrations that they could. You would see demonstrations matching us. Hey, Mr. Taco, can you get off my screen, please? Thank you. Because if they could match us, we would have them done already. I've given you we already have been past 2 months. So when it comes down to it, we are the dominant tech. We are the future. And for anyone who sits there and says, oh, you're not, well, here's one for you. How about you get up in the morning when the sun peeks through your windows, and you do this in a fully lit environment, no ambient light controlled environments. You choose one of those old 720p projectors that I use in my demonstrations, and you pull up a star field demonstration at 100%. Because our technology can basically, I can lay 4 or 5 sheets of white paper across my screen. I've got the test demonstrations to back it up. And I can lay black fabric, black paint, whatever I want across my screen. And none of those would match our technology in any way whatsoever. We can pick up a perfect balance in color without calibrating the projector. Where a screen that costs $3,000 to $5,000 requires calibration, dark environments, overpriced projectors, certain projectors for ultra short throw setups. Same thing with gray screen paints, which it shouldn't require ultra short throw because they should be able to pick up on ultra short throw regardless. It's paint at the end of the day. The only issue is gray screen paint or white. I've seen white screen paint. I don't even know what the purpose of that is. But anyway, the only reason why a gray screen paint would have an issue with ultra short throw unless they can't pull the image in a fully lit environment. That would be their main problem, coming up washed up or faded. That's why a lot of the demonstrations I see on the P2, which is an amazing projector, I see these demonstrations done in ambient light control or even dark environments on a projector that is literally sitting less than a foot from a screen at 3,000 lumens with a 2 million to 1 contrast. That's pretty bad. That's extremely bad. So again, for all you projection screen people in the projection screen world, you sit in the past. I've been telling you this for years, since 2016, that your technology sits in the past. The future is black technology. And this is what we're going to push. When I get out into the mainstream, when I'm out there, I got events already getting set up for the summertime. That is our slogan. That's what we're going to push. Because again, there is no way in the world you could match our technology, especially just simply in contrast alone. The future is black. If you want to be on the next level, your technology is going to have to be black. And keep in mind, in order to obtain black technology, it requires years, not weeks, not days, years and years of testing. There's multiple tests to put a black screen through. Actually, black screen testing is a little bit more rigorous and extremely harder than most screens because, again, it's a screen that has to learn how to generate in fully lit environments, which is one of the problems that black screens are plagued with. Oh, well, I just thought about that. Like I said, I just sitting there having this conversation with this fellow, and he was like, well, so what you're saying is basically your technology is the future? It is the future. Because right now, where we stand at, there is no gunmetal screen that can touch us. And keep in mind, for you gray and white screens, especially you gray screens, you really think you're the future, and you're not. Let me explain something to you. Unless you beat every single gunmetal screen out there on the market, and you can show that you can overpower one of these screens, you are considered to be not the future. Gunmetal is over your products, way over your products. The only reason why people still buy gray screen paint products is because they can't afford the gunmetal technology. It's very expensive. And those who can don't care about gray screen paint products. I've been to enough forum sites to talk to people who can afford $20,000 for a screen. They couldn't care less about a gray screen at the end of the day. Big deal. You're going to tell me a black diamond, a gray screen paint product can beat a $5,000 black diamond technology? No, it's never going to happen, ever. So that means if you're out there and you have a gray screen paint, or even white, even worse, that means you have an outdated product. Now, for those people who have deep pockets and can afford the $5,000 or $3,000, $5,000 or $10 or whatever it may cost you may pay for your gunmetal or certified screen, our technology is better because we can produce a 100% contrast. We don't have to be in ambient light controlled environments. We don't require special screens for ultra short throws. And again, I can go outside if I want and pick up a 100% contrast without spending tons of money for a projector that can only pick up darker shades of gray, and do it in a fully lit environment at 150 inches with no problem on a $500 projector. We become the dominant because in price-wise, we definitely dominate y'all easily. And basically in performance, we dominate y'all too on top of that. We have test demonstrations of our technology knocking out 9 certified screens in one hit, knocking out multiple ultra short throw demonstrations in one hit. So that at the end of the day makes us the dominant technology. Unless one of these companies decide to make a black version of a certified, which like I said, is going to be coming very soon. I guarantee you. If they're not already watching this or have not seen what we've been up to, they already know the future is not looking great for them. If they can't figure out how to get a black screen to pull up in a fully lit environment. And then once that does happen, that means that if you thought a gunmetal technology was expensive for those who have deep pockets, wait till you see what the black version is going to cost you. But again, that doesn't hurt us at the end of the day because we still take their business at the end of the day because again, why would you go out and spend all this money for this high-end expensive certified screen when we've had that technology for years, and on top of that, we cost less. Even if we can't dominate or beat the screen, we still cost less, which I don't think I'm gonna have that issue. Because the problem with these certified screens and what I've studied with them is the fact that they still stick to that old tradition of that reflective surface. I don't know why, but they just stick to it. All the ones I've tested have some form of that reflective surface. And that stuff is a nightmare, especially with ambient light projection technology. It really is. It doesn't work so well. It suffers from a narrow viewing cone effect. Well, I'm going to bed with my futurist screen right here. And if any gray screen pin out there in the market ever wants to sit there and say, oh, Mike, you are not. You can't even get past gunmetal technology. How can you sit there and make a statement like that? So, no. It's interesting in the projection screen world, and it's true, the dominant screen and the projection screen world is diamond technology. It is. As many people I've talked to, they have brought up diamond technology quite a few times in conversations. Diamond is the advanced version of gunmetal technology. And we can knock out that technology with ease because, again, our technology is black. The most dangerous thing about black technology is that if you can figure out how to get a black screen to be able to produce even at 1,000 lumens in a fully lit environment, and it can generate that much light, we're basically seeing our test demonstrations are freaking insane. A black screen that can see a white level is extremely dangerous. But I never really thought about that. It never really dawned on me.
Our story begins happily ever after. The end. Right, there's certain conflict, trauma, sex, but this technology.
Oh, we've done enough tests. We have literally done so much testing on white screens, gray screens, certified screens. I even had tested goose screen. All of them. Paint on screen. We've been through all of them. We've tested enough of their products to know at the end of the day where they stand at. So I told you this summer I'm going to have a ball. There's a lot of companies out here who have white screen setups in their sports bars. They have them, and I've seen a few people out here who have these inflatable white screens in their yards and stuff. We're gonna have a field day out here because we can walk into any one of these places. Mind, we can dominate gunmetal white screens a cakewalk. It's literally a cakewalk. I can do that with my eyes closed. This technology in sports bars and everything, we have a bunch of them up here. I can walk in there and basically give them a sample sheet, and they can basically try out our product for about a day. And I guarantee you they'll buy our product, other than that washed out white screen that they can't even pull up on the overpriced expensive projector. And that's what we're doing. We actually are going to do a 100-inch sample surface for companies. Just walk into their establishment, drop a business card off. They can hold it for about, they sign a little waiver or whatever, so make sure we get our products back. And they can follow that surface for one day and see the reaction they get from their customers. I've already had a few people today walk in to my apartment and look at the screen already that were business owners. Quite impressed with the technology that they can see it crystal clear at 150 inches, because in their establishment, they got this washed out faded screen that they can barely see, that's tucked away in this shadow-like area so it can pick up a little better. The rest of the bar is well lit. And they don't have gray screens down here. They've never heard of it. Pretty much most of them may bump in some YouTube video with a gray screen, but majority of what we're going to bump into are white screens. And the other half, they're not touching any form of screen that's going to cost them $5,000. Who's going to put a $5,000 screen in a setup or something like that? No, they're not going to do that. Most of those bars and establishments you go on, the screens are white. Taco sitting here and watching the fish. But yeah, not to go on and on, people, but the truth is, yeah, the future's black. And sooner or later, not now or next year, you are going to see a black certified screen pop up. Now, the biggest problem you're going to have to go through next after that one, these gray screen paint makers are going to try to make a black technology. I guarantee they got no choice. You have no choice. This is how the future works. Either you roll with it or you get crushed by it. That's how it works. So you have no choice. You're going to have to give up those gray screen paint products, and you're going to have to switch over to black technology. See if I'm wrong on that. I'm going to actually state that on my website. I'm going to record that and state that on my website, that that's where the future is going, in black technology. And I guarantee you, you gray screen paint makers are going to have to go out and make now a black screen. And you're going to find out how difficult it is to do this. It's extremely difficult. But I guarantee you, all your theories on how gray screens are this and that and the other are going to be right out the window. You will be developing a black screen. Some of you have already been trying to do gunmetal already as we speak. But your gunmetal's not dark enough. Gunmetal screens literally are supposed to be so dark that you're mistaken for black screens. So they're still not dark enough. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to get crushed in the process. It's like you go into Best Buy and somebody trying to convince you to buy a gray TV among all the black TVs that are sitting up there. Now, which one would you buy? You walk into, you see a flat screen, gray TV, and then you see these OLED black screens sitting in there. Which one do you want at the end of the day? Do you want the gray screen or you want the black? Or you want the black screen because it pulls up a much higher contrast levels, the colors pop much higher, and that black technology looks absolutely incredible on your wall than having a gray LCD screen. Oh, I love the fact to be the head of the pack. Do you have any idea how long it took me to get to this stage, the head of the pack? So now, this is going to be my little area where I go from A to B to having people from different bars and stuff, they can walk in and they can see, or people have restaurants or businesses or sports bars or whatever they may have, they can come and they can see this technology. Now, like I said, for you, because we're going to get the naysayers, they're going to sit there and say, oh, the gray is so good. Then you wouldn't mind doing side by side to black diamond technology or 8 or 9 of the gunmetal technologies they have out there in the market in a fully lit environment. Mind that technology can take in a lot of light. Next, there are screens that come up looking gray, but I definitely know next to a gray screen painting, we have tested certified screens versus gray products. We have done the test before behind closed doors, and y'all don't do well at all, period. You can never ever match that technology. But like I said, if they feel that if their technology is future-proof, then you would have no problem taking out a black diamond. And that's the reason why we choose black diamond, because that is the boss of gunmetal technology. I'm not a big fan of diamond, and nah, pretty much never will, but I got to give credit where credit is due. The technology is good. Can it beat ours? Oh, heck no. Our technology's better.
You got this, Carlos! Thanks, man. Black and Bang. I'm the #1 fan of it.
Because we can see 100% black. Well, that's going to be our slogan, and I can't wait to see some gray screen paint product try to use that as their slogan. The future is gray. Please, you got to be kidding me. You got to get past that gunmetal first. No, you guys are in the past. I was making you take that gray screen paint. I was making that stuff 10 years ago. That stuff is old. There's no future in that. And as for gunmetal certified technology, I've been into enough form sites to go in and say, your products are not as good as ours. Not. Our product is the best. As a matter of fact, I can put a challenge up for any gunmetal screen. Anyone, even Dragonfly, any one of you. Feel free to think if you can take my technology on, let me know. I can easily make that statement because I know my products are better. And if you think a 48's a nightmare, wait till you see the 57s, the Alpha Blacks. Truthfully, I'm not bragging, I'm being nice here. If I really want to embarrass certified technology, I can develop a technology in 20 minutes and wipe your technology that clean, that fast. I would love to have some kind of a competition between me versus certified. I would make something right there on the spot. I wouldn't even bring it in. I would make it right there on the spot. We couldn't see it, of course. And I'd take that 20-minute product and I would level y'all stuff. That's how much I know about your product. I've studied your product for years. You all have that same weird reaction. I know what the reflective surface is for. It's strictly there, basically, like I said, to make the screen generate more white light, but it's a plague at the same time. See what I get to see at night. Oh, I fired up the rest of the ceiling. So I got the ceiling all displayed with all my ceiling projectors fired off, so I can get my universe back. Now for my customers, well, they have the future technology. They have options. You don't ever have to ever have to worry about calibrating. That's a bunch of crap at the end of the day. You have to worry about whether it's 720p. You see the demonstration in the next room on a 720p projector? That thing looks absolutely insane. I still got people chatting back asking me, was it a 1080p or 4K setup? No, it's a 720p. And not only it's an old projector at that. For you guys who have these amazing dedicated theater room setups, our technology would be much better than a gray or white or even gunmetal screen. Black technology is far more advanced when it comes to dedicated setups because, again, the technology is not going to be bouncing light all over the environment. It's going to absorb all that light and push out an image, as we showed you in our dedicated setup. And for the everyday Joe, and this is the person who wants to have the nice setups like everybody else. Why shouldn't they? Because their pockets are not deep enough. They can't afford a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 projection screen with an expensive projector to go along with it. They should not be able to have something nice at the end of the day. Well, with our technology, they can. And don't even have to spend the money for an expensive projector. Every form site that I walk into, my projector is the cheapest and the oldest. And yet I can take out their products with no problem. I can overpower a $30,000 JVC projector because that projector in all its power can't produce to its maximum performance because it's being displayed on a gray or white or gunmetal technology. And yet I can produce a 100% contrast when a projector that's designed to do a 30 million to 1 contrast ratio can't even pick up when the lights are turned on. That's pretty embarrassing. Or when they have the calibrating, they have calibration sections too. People talking about how they calibrate their projector. No, they talk about it. Oh, we pop in there too. We're all over that place. So mine's not calibrated. What kind of screen you got? Oh, I have a so and so. Well, here you go. This is your screen. We do a color pattern in there. Make your screen look like a white sheet of paper. When I projected, it was never recalibrated. I'm not in the industry to make friends. I'm in the industry to cause waves, to shake things up a bit. Because it's been a lie for a long, long time. Telling people they had to spend the money for overpriced, expensive projectors and all the other nonsense. Do you imagine if our technology dominated everything on the market? What would be the point of making a projector with a 2 million to 1 contrast? Just to give you an idea. What would be the purpose of it all? Why would you even need it? If your screen was already generating black, why would you need a projector with a 2 million to 1? You wouldn't need it. Because the screen would be doing the work. The reason why they make that projector with such a high contrast ratio is because there are people at the end of the day who don't know about this technology, and they're going to be subjected to gray or gunmetal or white, silver or gray, whatever the screen is going to be, and they're still going to have to need that high contrast ratio to pull up a darker contrast level. Or my customers don't, because any projector, as long as it's name brand, because these are knockoffs, they'll be able to achieve over a 2 million or 30 million to 1 contrast without them costing a lot of money. How cold that black is. Look at that. Look how gorgeous it is. Solid 100% black. It's future, people. It's the future. Well, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. But yes, this is the future. Gotta go. Thank you all, and God bless.